Okay, picture this. Two cities, London and Paris, each with its own story simmering just below the surface. In one, a man's secret identity is about to threaten everything he holds dear, and in the other, a revolution is brewing. And a list, a very special list, is being knitted name by name for execution. These two worlds seem miles apart, but they're on a collision course, and a single piece of information is about to set off an explosion.
So that's the big question, right? How on earth does a quiet marriage proposal in London have anything to do with a deadly hit list in Paris? It sounds crazy, I know, but as we're about to see, the threads of love and vengeance get tangled in the most unexpected ways. Let's pull on those threads and see what unravels.
So let's start our story in London. We're walking into what should be a really happy moment, a proposal. But you can feel it right away. There's something dark lurking just beneath the surface, a secret so heavy it could shatter everything.
Meet Charles Darnay. He is a man carrying a massive secret. He's deeply in love with Lucy Monet, and he wants to marry her. But he knows his family's past is, well, it's toxic, and it could put her in incredible danger. He feels like he has to tell her father the truth, but he's terrified of what happens when that truth finally comes out. And you can just feel the tension in this scene. Darnay is ready, he's about to spill everything, but Dr. Monet stops him. He makes this fateful call and says, "No, wait, tell me on the morning of the wedding." It's a choice that seems small, but trust me, it's gonna have devastating consequences for everyone.
Just the hint of Darnay's secret is too much for Dr. Monet. It's so shocking that it triggers his old trauma from his time in the Bastille, and he just snaps back. He reverts to his old prison habit of making shoes. It is an absolutely heartbreaking moment that shows you the sheer power of secrets and just how long the shadow of the past can be. Okay, so while Darnay is grappling with his past, there's another man in the picture wrestling with his own demons. His name is Sidney Carton. He's this brilliant lawyer, but he's also a total mess. And he's also in love with Lucy. And his part in this story is about to become absolutely crucial.
You know, Darnay and Carton are almost like two sides of the same coin. You've got Darnay, the idealist, who really believes he can build a better future. And then you have Carton, the cynic, the guy who's pretty much given up on himself. But they have one thing, one powerful thing in common. They both love Lucy. And that love is going to send them down two very, very different roads.
And this is the moment. This is the line that defines Sidney Carton. In this incredibly raw, emotional confession, he makes a promise to Lucy that will literally change the course of all their lives. He tells her he would die for her, for someone she loves. It's a vow that's going to be tested in the most extreme way you can possibly imagine. All right, now hold on, because we are jumping from a promise of life in a London drawing room to a vow of death on the dark streets of Paris. The revolution is coming, and a chilling list of names is being knitted stitch by stitch.
The streets of Paris are a tinderbox just waiting for a spark. And that spark comes when the arrogant Marquis d'Evremond runs over and kills a child with his carriage. This sets off a brutal chain reaction. The child's father, Gaspard, gets his revenge and murders the Marquis. But the state's response is swift and savage. This is the violent world that's about to crash into our characters' lives.
But Gaspard's death? Oh, that's not the end. Not by a long shot. It's just the beginning. Back in their wine shop, Ernest and Madame Defarge are quietly plotting. And their target isn't just the one man, the Marquis. No, it's his entire family. The name Evremond has just been added to a list that means certain death. Madame Defarge's knitting, it's not just a hobby. It's a weapon. It's a symbol of the revolution's cold, methodical rage. With every single stitch, she adds another name to her kill list, a register that will soon be soaked in blood. And once your name is in that knitting, there is no getting out.
So we have these two completely separate stories, right? London, all about love and secrets. Paris, all about revenge and revolution. They seem like they're in different universes, but a spy is about to walk into a wine shop and change everything.
So, in walks John Barsad. He's an English spy, and he strolls into the Defarge's wine shop thinking he has the upper hand. He's there to pump them for information, to learn their secrets. He has absolutely no idea that he's the one who's about to give up a secret that will seal multiple fates.
And then Barsad drops the bombshell. He's trying to get a rise out of the Defarges, so he casually mentions that Lucy Monet is getting married to Charles Darnay. And who is Charles Darnay? Yep, he's the nephew of the Marquis de Vrememond. He is an Evermond. Boom! The two worlds have just collided.
The shock of this news is written all over Defarge's face. He doesn't say a single word. He doesn't have to. His hand is trembling so much as he pours a drink. That tells you the entire story. In that one moment, the fate of Charles Darnay and Lucy Manette is sealed. Their love story has just become a tragedy in the making.
So we've seen how a secret can shatter a family, how a promise can offer this tiny glimmer of hope, and how a knitting needle can basically become a death sentence. So let's connect all the dots and see why these two worlds, London and Paris, are now tied together forever.
Just look at this web they're all caught in. Every single one of our main characters is now tangled up by secrets and destiny. You've got Darnay's real name, Dr. Manette's past trauma with that same family, and Carton's selfless vow. It's all about to come to a head in the most dramatic way possible. And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? What started as a personal love story has now been swallowed by a huge political tragedy. The fate of these characters is no longer in their own hands. It's being decided by revolutionaries in Paris, and there's nothing they can do to escape the history that's coming for them.
You know, Charles Darnay did everything he possibly could to run from his family's dark legacy. But in the end, it found him anyway. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Can any of us truly escape our past, or are we all in some way caught in the threads of history? Thanks for joining me.